Hello all of you, myself Jitesh Dalvi from our channel To Engineers. First thing, thanks for the great support for our 3 previous educational videos. Now here I am with the new concept again, that is brazing operation. So let's start. We will cover this whole topic with the 10 different sections. First is physics of brazing and its terminology, then brazing rod and its specification, brazing flame, pre-cleaning process, post-cleaning process, what is flux, then what is nitrogen purging, what is the heating sequence for the brazing operation, then brazing clearance, and the last is brazing quality. So let's start with the first content, that is physics of brazing and terminology. What is brazing? Brazing is a metal joining process in which two or more metal items are joined together by melting and flowing a filler metal into the joint. The filler metal having a lower melting point than the adjoint metal. In the brazing process, the temperature of the assembly to be brazed is raised to the point at which the brazing filler metal becomes molten and fills the joint clearance between the base material. Let's have a look on this drawing. Here we see the two parts are joined together with the help of the brazing material, or we can say the filler metal. Here what is actually done, these two metals are heated up to the temperature that is the melting point of the filler metal. So these two parts are joined together with the help of filler metal. What are the things we need during the brazing operation? First thing is the brazing torch, then the filler metal, that is also called as the brazing rod, then the base material, the material to be brazed. These base material and material to be brazed are the two parts which is to be joined by means of the brazing operation. Then flux, then nitrogen purging. And what are the basic steps need to be followed during the brazing operation? First is the pre-cleaning, then nitrogen purging, third is brazing, and fourth is post-cleaning. So let's understand what is brazing rod and its specification. Brazing rod is the material which is used for joining the two parts during brazing operation. It's a filler metal which is to be filled between the joints of the two parts. There are number of brazing rods which are used in the industry as per their application, but we will focus on the most common 5 types of brazing rods. First is high-risk zero, then second is Dynaflow, then 35% rod, blockade, and the low flaming rod. Here you can see the chemical composition for each of this type of the rod in this table. Let's have an example of high-risk zero. There is 0% silver, 7.1% phosphorus, then 92.9% copper, 0% zinc, 0% tin, and 0% other components. So we can say in high-risk zero type of brazing rod there are only two contents present, that is phosphorus and the copper. In all these chemical compositions, each of the chemical or the component plays the major role during the brazing operation. Take the example of silver. Silver plays the role of fluidity. That means more the silver content, more the fluidity of brazing material. Then take the example of phosphorus. Phosphorus itself act as a flux during brazing operation. Now what is brazing flame? Brazing flame is the flame which is produced in the brazing torch and used for heating the metal components during brazing operation. There are basically 3 types of brazing flame. First is carbonizing flame, second is neutral flame, and third is oxidizing flame, and it is characterized based on their oxygen and acetylene content. We can say acetylene or any gas we use for brazing operation. In carburizing flame, oxygen percentage is less than the acetylene percentage. In neutral flame, oxygen and acetylene percentage are same, that means we can say 50-50%. And in oxidizing flame, oxygen percentage is greater than the acetylene percentage. Also, the difference between these three flames can be easily visualized. You can see in the drawing. In the carburizing flame, there are three different layers. First is the white inner core present, that is with the slight blue tinge, and there is acetylene free edge, and the last is the outer layer which is present in a blue. In neutral flame there are two layers. First is the white inner core with slightly blue tinge, and the outer layer blue with white tinge. And in oxidizing flame also there are two layers, but there is one difference. We can see the inner layer is the brilliant white inner core, not a blue tinge, and the outer layer is same, that is blue with white tinge. Also, we can say the difference at the edge of the flame also. In both neutral and carburizing flame, the edge of the flame are disturbed condition, that is we can see here the coarse viscous contour present at the edge of the flame, but in the oxidizing flame there is a fine viscous contour. There is no disturbed edge present at the flame. Before starting any brazing operation, we need to follow the pre-cleaning process. Pre-cleaning means cleaning the surface at which the two parts are to be joined together. That means before starting the brazing operation, we need to ensure that that surface where the two parts are joined should be properly clean and properly smooth also. There are basically two common methods, that is first is mechanical cleaning and second is chemical cleaning. Mechanical cleaning includes the machining, grinding, blasting, sandpaper and the wire brushing. That means with the help of these processes we can make that surface more and more smooth, because if the surface is more rough then it creates the obstacle for the wetting process. Wetting means the fluidity of brazing material. Also, in pre-cleaning process we need to remove all the surface contaminants, any kind of burrs, any kind of dust present on the surface. For that we can use the pressurized air also. Now the second is chemical cleaning. In chemical cleaning we are using the different kinds of chemicals or the solutions for the cleaning processes. These chemicals either react with the oils or dissolve the oils or lift the oil from the surfaces. The most commonly used chemical for this chemical pre-cleaning process is CTC, that is carbon tetrachloride, which is most of the time used in the industry for as a pre-cleaning process. The main purpose of chemical cleaning is to remove the oil content or any other chemical content from the surface of the metal. And if we don't follow this chemical cleaning process, then such kind of oils or any external chemical may have the adverse effect during brazing operation. It may have the effect on the fluidity of the brazing material. Also, after brazing it may create the pores in the brazing joint. We can say that it creates the porosity in the brazing joints, which further creates the leakage issues during the application of that particular parts or product. Now the next step is post cleaning process or post braze cleaning process. The post cleaning process is the process in which the metal components and the brazing joint is cleaned exactly after the brazing operation. There are basically four types of post cleaning process. First is the soaking or wetting, then quenching, then chemical cleaning, and then mechanical cleaning. First is soaking or wetting. Here we use the hot water with agitation in the soak tank to remove the excess flux immediately following the brazing operation and then dry the assembly. So with the help of this hot water we remove the excess flux or the residual flux from the brazing joint or the metal components. Second is quenching process. In this process, the metal component with brazing joint is immersed in the water immediately after the brazing operation, because of which it induces the thermal shock on the residual flux, so that flux can be easily removed. The main thing we need to understand or we need to take care during the quenching operation is this process should not have any kind of adverse effect on the brazing joint, because such kind of thermal shock during the during the quenching process may have the adverse effect on the brazing joint also. It may create the cracks on the brazing joint. So as per the application, as per the requirement, we need to follow this quenching process. Now the third is chemical cleaning. This is same as we learned in the pre-cleaning process. Different kinds of chemicals are used for removing the residual flux or the excess flux from the material or any kind of the external contaminants present on the brazing joint surface or metal surface. The last is mechanical cleaning. It's same as our pre-cleaning process. Here the flux residues can be removed with the help of wire brush or by the sandblasting. We can use the air also, the pressurized air, for removing the residual fluxes. Now what is nitrogen purging? Nitrogen purging is the most important process which is to be followed during brazing operation to avoid the oxide formation during brazing. Take one example. Let's consider we are joining the two copper tubes by means of brazing process without considering the nitrogen purging operation. So what happens during brazing process, the oxygen in the air combines with the copper to form the copper oxide. That means it's a oxide formation on the copper surface. So during braze heating, the oxide scale forms inside the copper tube, and these dark scale flakes off and are carried by the clock small orifices. And for avoiding such issues, so for preventing such issues, we need to follow the nitrogen purging process during brazing operation. Now what is actually the procedure for nitrogen purging process? So here nitrogen is used through the tube during brazing to prevent the internal scale formation. But one thing we need to take care is that use the low flow rate during of nitrogen during the nitrogen purging process, because if we use the high flow rate of nitrogen, then this excess pressure inside the tube restrict the flow of brazing material during brazing operation, so it may have the adverse effect on our brazing quality. So this one thing we need to take care of. And the suggestible pressure of nitrogen used during the nitrogen purging process is 1.5 psi to 2 psi for preventing the excess pressure issues during brazing operation. What is flux? The purpose of flux is to remove the oxides from the base material and to prevent the oxidation during heating process, thus promoting the free flow of brazing filler metal. The liquid flux is chemical agent that serves the several purposes, like it cleans the metal surface, creates a barrier that prevents the oxidation and allows the filler material to flow more freely over the work area. Most of the people says that flux helps in cleaning the surfaces. Actually this is the main reason why the people says that it helps in cleaning the surfaces, because it don't directly clean the surface, it actually creates a barrier for the oxidation. That's why it prevents the oxidation, so the surface of the metal remains clean. That's why the people or industry people says it helps in cleaning. Also the flux is used to promote the flow of molten filler alloy on the base metal. That means it helps in wetting process. As I earlier said, wetting means the proper flow of brazing material during brazing operation. We can say it promotes the fluidity of brazing material. There is one more function we need to understand about flux. Flux can be used as a temperature indicator. Specifically, when we use the powder flux for brazing operation, we need to understand at what temperature or at what time we should feed the brazing rod at the joint of the two metals. And as in such cases, powder flux act as a temperature indicator because it starts melting, and when the powder flux starts melting, it indicates that this is the time to feed the brazing rod at the joint of the two metal. So we can say flux can be used as a temperature indicator also during brazing operation. Brazing clearance is mandatory concept we need to understand before starting the brazing process or before joining the two parts. As we know, the brazing process works on the capillary action, and if the clearance between the two parts is less or more than the requirement, then it directly affects that capillary action and further results in improper brazing quality. Let's have a look on this drawing. This is the start of wetting. Wetting means, as I said earlier, the proper flow of brazing material. This is intermediate stage where the capillary action just starts. So we can see the some amount of material goes inside the gap. That means we can say the penetration starts, and this is the final stage where the proper penetration of brazing material is completed. Now, why the proper penetration of brazing material is mandatory? Because proper penetration of brazing material provides the strength to the brazing joint. You can see in this drawing, this is the area where the actual strength is provided to the brazing joint, and in this area the proper strength is not provided. Here the maximum area comes in contact with the brazing joint and the diffusion occurs, but here the less area comes in contact. That's why it provides the less strength, and this area provides the maximum strength to the brazing joint. Let's take one example for the brazing clearance. Consider we are joining the two copper tubes by the brazing operation. Then, as per the application and as per the standard IS 2927, the brazing clearance required is 0.05 mm to 0.12 mm. This is the radial clearance. If we consider the diametrical clearance, then it becomes double. That means 0.1 to 0.24 mm. Let's understand what kind of heating sequence we need to follow during the brazing operation. Let's take one example. We are joining the two copper tubes. This is the base metal and this is the metal to be brazed. Let's have a look on this drawing. This drawing indicates the first step of heating sequence. Here we need to feed the brazing torch to this base metal. That means we need to heat this base metal first, then heat the metal to be brazed, then again heat the base metal, then feed the brazing rod, and then again heat the base metal. And this is the standard sequence, heating sequence we need to follow during the brazing operation. Now the question is, why this sequence? Because initially, as shown in this drawing, we need to heat the base metal. Why? Because as we know, if we heat any metal, it starts expanding. So if we heat this metal, base metal, then it starts expanding and creates the air gap between the two metals. That means at the joint, and it helps in the capillary action of brazing material. At the end of the heating, please ensure the proper penetration of brazing material every time. Now let's understand how to know about the brazing quality by just visual inspection. I have taken the pics of heat exchangers where the brazing operation is used to join the two parts for the easy understanding. Let's have a look on this drawing. You can see here there is a concave shape present at the brazing joint. So this indicates that the proper penetration is done, and here there is a convex shape created at the joint, which indicates that there is improper penetration of brazing material. Now let's have a look on these drawings. The proper brazing is done. There is no spill of material, there is no incomplete brazing. You can see in both this drawing, but here you can see there is incomplete brazing done. Also here there is spilling of brazing material, and it's one of the kind of poor brazing. So this is all about the brazing operation. Hopefully this will helpful for all the students and the industry people who are actually working with this brazing operation on daily basis. Next time we will come with the new topic again. Thank you.